Imagine a modern industrial worksite. Every single second, it generates a massive, overwhelming wave of raw occupational safety data. Safety teams are tasked with tracking a massive array of invisible threats across the entire floor, from trackless mobile machinery vibration levels to extreme thermal heat stress and cumulative radiation dosages. Gathering this avalanche of information without a unified framework creates a chaotic administrative burden, leaving teams drowning in paperwork rather than actively protecting their workforce. This creates a paperwork paradox. Rigid legal codes of practice live in one database, while daily operational activities happen in another. When those pathways break down, critical overexposures easily slip through the cracks. Since 1991, Embo Systems has solved this fragmentation. We function as a central nervous system for occupational health, unifying your tracking data and leveraging over 3 decades of legacy industry knowledge to organize the chaos. By connecting that deep experiential knowledge with modern tracking algorithms, facilities stop reacting to compliance failures and start driving proactive, scientific safety protocols. The process begins by establishing a strict structural baseline. The central hygiene structure captures every relevant code of practice and standard, drawing in direct linked documentation from external platforms like SharePoint. From there, the framework branches downward to build your HEG, or Homogeneous Exposure Group, register. This categorizes exactly which occupations and individual persons are exposed to identical daily risks. The system then spans outward, layering specific physical locations, designated sampling areas, and your complete equipment and asset register directly onto that personnel map. Every physical machine, workspace, and employee must be rigidly, legally accounted for within this structure before a single piece of monitoring equipment is ever turned on. With that comprehensive blueprint locked into place, the module activates and the actual data collection begins. We immediately deploy physical environmental tracking, processing lab dust analysis, monitoring thermal heat and cold stress, and conducting routine drinking water surveys. Simultaneously, the system logs mechanical and chemical threats, measuring heavy machinery noise, tracking vibration frequencies, and recording volatile gas vapors. Safety teams never have to manually map this out. The master timeline automatically populates and schedules every required survey, drawing its instructions entirely from the legal parameters we set in the foundation phase. This continuous, automated rhythm of scheduling takes a static binder of safety rules and turns it into a live, observable ecosystem. Capturing data is only half the job. We have to look at what happens when an anomaly, like a dangerous chemical overexposure, is detected on the floor. The software executes a closed-loop mitigation sequence. It registers the incident, mandates a detailed risk assessment, and immediately feeds those findings into active control monitoring. This process requires specific follow-up actions, which are then permanently locked against the individual HEG person's historical record. Binding the incident resolution directly to an individual employee's profile guarantees that recurring hazards are addressed, leaving no ambiguity and closing the liability loop. Thousands of logged incidents and environmental surveys provide no value if leadership cannot interpret the results. The module continuously compiles this raw input, instantly generating standardized management reports and official DMR reports for regulatory bodies. By automating these critical summaries, executive oversight remains perfectly synchronized with the exact reality on the ground floor. The engine driving all of this is the ESBCA Embo Database Application Factory Framework. This underlying architecture means every single capture form, spreadsheet, and dashboard is entirely user-definable. The system reshapes itself to fit your operational specifications without requiring a single line of reprogramming. It translates overwhelming occupational data into precision in motion, adapting perfectly to your facility's unique blueprint. That is the standard we've engineered at Embo Systems, because true safety compliance demands rigid adherence to the law, powered by an architecture fluid enough to keep up with your workforce.